What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of the IncntrolGaming podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ole, and joining me as usual is my fellow co-host, PK. PK, how's it going, man?
Not bad, man. How are you doing? And hey, everybody.
Great. So, in case you didn't know, this is the IncntrolGaming podcast, your one-stop shop for all the latest gaming news, opinion, what's happening in the industry, coming from two chuckleheads like us. Quick bit of housekeeping, nothing crazy. Keep an eye out for the top 10 videos that have already dropped on the YouTube channel. I'm talking in my video about the top 10 PS3 games of all time. Alan's talking about the top 10 RPGs of all time. Yeah. And we've also got Patrick and Michael's videos coming. I won't tell you the title of what they're doing in case it's
yours
a spoiler.
Yours already dropped. We still got a couple coming out.
Exactly. You don't want to ruin the surprise for people, but please, guys, keep an eye out for that. Big shout out to Wayne and Marshall, who are heavily commentating on the last two videos that dropped and took me to task for not including MGS4 in my PS3 list.
Big screw up.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of good games on PS3. A lot of good games. But yeah, thanks for tuning in and joining us, guys. I don't think we'll hold back any longer, and let's dive straight into the news, Patrick.
Let's get into it.
So to begin with, I thought it would be cool if we recapped the major releases that have started since September and going forward into December, just so you guys can have an idea.
A lot of good games coming.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff that's been dropping. So I thought we would go through most of the big releases. This won't cover every single game, but just the ones which we think you guys would mostly be interested in.
The noticeable ones.
Yeah, and Patrick, you just give a shout if there's anything you want to quickly comment on or anything like that. So, starting with back in September, we had NBA 2K18 on September 7th. We had Marvel's Spider-Man, which came out on September 7th as well, which was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Be talking about that a little later. We had Shadow of the Tomb Raider come out on September 14th. And then we had Forza Horizon 4 come out on October 2nd. And then we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which came out on October 5th. And then we had Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which came out on October 12th. Yeah. No single player campaign in that one, so it'll be interesting to see how it performs with the focus just on multiplayer.
And apparently the Battle Royale is pretty good as well.
Oh yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos of YouTubers and streamers playing Blackout, and yeah, I'm tempted to get that game. So, and then of course we have a really small game by the name of Red Dead Redemption 2. Coming out on October 26th. Not that small studio called Rockstar.
Oh yeah.
Releasing that. Just made GTA 5. If you've heard of that game.
And they didn't work hard enough to make the game.
You're a good troll. And then we have Diablo 3 for Switch specifically coming out on November 2nd. And then we have Hitman 2 coming out on November 13th.
Oh, Hitman 2 is actually pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And you can kill Sean Bean.
Oh yeah, I saw he's the first elusive target in the game, isn't it? Yeah. Who is Sean Bean again? Remind me, because
no one simply walks into Mordor.
Oh, okay. So he was in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. What other movies was Sean Bean in? I feel like
you look it up. You look it up while I keep naming a few more of these releases. So on November 14th, we have Fallout 76, which is a purely online-focused Fallout game, which I'll be very interested in seeing how that does. Yeah, considering, risky depends because everything's going multiplayer these days.
That's true.
So it might be smart to pivot to having a online-only Fallout game. So it'll be interesting to see how that does. On November 20th, we have Battlefield 5, which is a game I'm really looking forward to, and I'll be interested to see how it does. And last two, we have Just Cause 4 coming out on December the 4th, followed by Smash Bros. Ultimate for Nintendo Switch coming out on December 7th. So those are all the major games which we thought we'd highlight for you guys. I'm sure all people watching, there's at least one or two games in there that you're interested in. So it should be a fun holiday season, no matter what system you're on. Moving on to our first major news story. Sad news, actually. Telltale Games has officially been shut down. This happened last month, I believe, the weekend of my birthday, actually.
Sad times.
Yeah. They're the makers of The Walking Dead. As many of you would know, they covered some other properties in their Telltale storytelling format like Batman, The Wolf Among Us, Game of Thrones, Borderlands. So I mean, they really blew up after they did the Walking Dead season 1 back in 2012. But they are no more basically. They've been completely shut down. Nearly full layoffs to staffs. No severance pay. No health benefits being paid out. And then some news that came out the following days after this happened was that Skybound Entertainment, which is owned by Robert Kirkman, who created The Walking Dead, his company is going to step in to finish making the final season of The Walking Dead.
They were given about 30 minutes to an hour to leave. The officers weren't there on the first day.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that was part of the story. They were basically called in, no advance warning, and they were told, hey guys, we're shutting down. 95% of the staff is being laid off. And it's crazy when you think about the high that Telltale were at in 2012 with The Walking Dead and subsequent projects like, The Wolf Among Us and Borderlands.
And they were given notice from the board that things were still going okay.
Yeah.
And then they were just told one afternoon that you've got 30 minutes to leave the building.
Yeah.
And then you can come back tomorrow or a week after to come collect your personal belongings.
Yeah, and that's always sucky to hear. We hope everybody who lost their job is able to find a new job. They're talented guys who work at Telltale. But why they fell apart is kind of like the prevalent question in this situation. Why did Telltale die? And I think it was a myriad of things. They attached their name to too many projects. I don't think they were able to maintain a very good quality level, because I love Telltale. I took the jump in, for example, with the Game of Thrones, and that was atrocious. Oh, yeah. I mean, I only reached episode 2, start of episode 2, and I said, I'm done.
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I went through all the Walking Dead games, and they were fantastic.
Yeah, they were great, but the quality was going down. And on top of that, the technology that was driving their games was, to be quite frank,
you can say it was dated.
It was getting mediocre. I mean, it deleted my girlfriend's save when she was trying to play season 2 of The Walking Dead, and she could not wrap her mind around why her save was gone. Yeah. Like, it hadn't even been uploaded to PS Plus cloud storage or anything. So she was like, because we were just playing during a day, and she was like, "This isn't making sense. Why I have to start again?" I was like,
"I saved my game.
Yeah.
Why do I need to
start from the beginning?" And that kind of stuff is really off-putting to the general consumer who's not plugged in like us. And then your save gets eaten. I mean, that's gonna put you off ever giving the company money again.
Exactly.
And so their engine was a really big problem. But yeah, it really sucks that Telltale's gone, because they were trying to work on some brand new IP, which now we'll never get to see.
It also brings up the question of the competition in the video game industry now, and what the board expects and what it delivers. Because everybody can have great feedback from a game or from a trailer, and maybe you don't sell as much. It doesn't reciprocate in sales. So, I mean, does it fall down to management? Do you think of it as, was it inevitable?
Yeah, well, the path they were headed on with management was inevitable. Their CEO was also fired like a year and a half ago or whatever, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean, really sad. Telltale, hopefully people can get their final season of Walking Dead, and then,
hopefully. I wouldn't hold your breath. But
moving on to happier news. PSN name change is finally coming. After 10 years, we have been waiting to change to change our PSN names. Sony have finally announced that we'll be able to change our online IDs, starting with a beta firmware later this year. So people who are in the firmware preview program will be able to take advantage of changing their name. And then later on, it's going to roll out to everybody in the start of 2018. It's going to be free the first time that you want to change your name, similar to how Xbox does it. So the first change is going to be completely free. And then after that, you're going to have to pay a fee of $5 if you're a PlayStation Plus member, $10 if you're a non-PS Plus member. So you'll be paying for those charges. So yeah, there's some compatibility issues that will be arising from PS3 and PS Vita.
It is a huge technical issue, because there are a lot of games that may eventually screw up if you change your PSN name. And this all falls down to, like, in Xbox, wasn't your ID linked to a unique number?
Exactly.
and
PSN.
PSN was linked to those individual characters, which I don't understand why they made that decision.
That
at the
engineer has
time.
been fired a long time ago. He was fired, yeah.
And now for you to change the name meant changing the characters, which is just
a nightmare.
It's hell.
Yeah.
It's hell. So now, even when they're implementing this new system, it's gonna take a really long time, and it's gonna take a lot of testing.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes, yeah.
We'll
but it's finally here. So if you have been Bong Ripper 420 for the last 9 years, you can now officially change your name to, like, you know, whatever, and finally graduate from that. But yeah, so that's great to know. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for the news, this section. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please join us for our next section as we have our topic of the week discussion. We'll catch you guys there.